While surfing the web some time ago, I came across a video where a Muslim man, a very civilized character, like myself, was in front of an audience of Muslim women who were dressed in the Western fashion mainly. I think this was probably in a college in England, a university in England. So they were all well-behaved people, intelligent people. And he was very crafty as a speaker, very, very crafty. Because if I have heard him at the beginning giving the hard line ideas about religion, I probably would have went off and looked at something else, another video. But no, it seemed like he was quite reasonable. So I listened and got drawn into the video, so to speak, and that's what he wanted. He wanted to get people like myself to get drawn into the video. And he was saying what would happen to Muslim people when they die. He said the men are going to get this, which we all know. The men are going to get, I think, 72 virgins. And then he went over to the women who are all smiling there, waiting for what he has to say, what they're going to get when they go to paradise. And he didn't say they was going to get 72 male virgins. He didn't say that at all. No, he said, well, girls, of course, want different things, don't they? They want to get some makeup and nice clothes. And he was going on in that vein, and these girls all got a smile on their face. He's won them over. Totally won them over. It was very crafty. He didn't answer the sex part at all. But I was thinking about what he said about the men getting the virgins and things. But what they say is that the only people that go to paradise are Muslims. No one else goes to paradise. Only Muslims. Therefore, the virgins have to be Muslim virgins, which means the girls, once again, are slaves to the men. Because, let's face it, if a girl's got a choice, would she rather share one man with lots of other women, 72 other women, or would she rather have him to herself? And also, would she like to choose the man rather than he chooses her because she is now the slave? And we're talking about eternity here. We are talking about paradise. So we're talking about this girl, one of 72, is going to be a slave to this man for eternity. Does that sound fair? But the girls never asked this, you see. And he was, as I said, he carried on in that same vein, talking nice to the girls and winning them over. And because they never questioned anything he said, they just accepted it without taking it further, the story that he's giving them. Because let's face it, some girls want 72 men, 72 virgins that they can choose, virgin men. Some girls are that way. Good luck to them. What happens to them? They don't get their virgin men. I can't see that. From what he was saying, as soon as you say the man gets 72 virgins, really you're saying the society in this paradise is for the men, which means the women become secondary. Because at the moment, in this world, they're promising the women will get everything they want. But I bet that doesn't include having their choice of men in paradise. You see, all religions, not just the Muslim religion, we're talking about all religions, they all fall apart when you start to question them. I'm not being nasty here. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not being nasty. I'm just simply going after the truth. And it's important that we go after the truth because I've met some of the nicest people going, Christians, And that fellow, the Muslims, he seemed one of the nicest people as well. But I've tried to reason with these people about the slaughterhouses that we have. I tell them our society is built on slaughterhouses, vivisection, and factory farming. Surely that can't be what they're going to have in heaven. But you want to eat meat. You tell me you like eating meat. You're not going to give it up. So therefore, those things are going to exist in this paradise, this heaven that you are telling us all about. I don't want to go to such a place like that. I'd rather not exist. In fact, it sounds more to me that hell is better than a place like that, because that would be hell for me to know that's going on. Well, no, I couldn't take that sort of thing. I'm a vegetarian because I refuse to allow any creature to suffer on my behalf, to suffer. If I can't suffer in their stead the same thing, I'm not prepared to let them suffer the same. But most Muslims don't think like that. And I met a fellow, very nice fellow. I think I mentioned him in one of my other videos, Damien. Well, you know what, that Damien name conjures up. It conjures up that movie, Devil in Disguise. Well, this fellow certainly was. He was like a lamb, but the things he said, that it doesn't matter about the suffering of other creatures. That is just so human to say that. You've got to get away from being human. You all got to get away from being human. You've got to start seeing that it does matter. Suffering is suffering at the end of the day. It doesn't matter who you are, a spider, a creepy crawly. Fear and suffering and all these other terrible things do matter to all. And do you think if I come back as another creature, and that suffering doesn't matter to me if I'm a dog or some other creature in vivisection? Do you really think that? Come on. But I know I'm not going to be able to win you over, because I have tried many times to win people over face to face, person to person, and it's never worked. They've got these entrenched views, and it goes against all logic. They just throw it out the window and say, oh, it's not what it says in our book. You can't really argue with a person who says things like that. That's the coup de grace, or whatever they like to call it. It's not in the book, and therefore it's not true what you're saying. You know, I did come up eventually with an idea about that, an answer to that, in fact. And just a reminder, if you like my videos, please give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Thank you. I realised that what life's all about is trying to get all creatures, not just us, all creatures, no matter how small or big, that means the smallest being microbes, because they're all alive, all living creatures, to a level where they have empathy. I think I've mentioned that in one of my videos, to a level where they have empathy. Now, imagine if you want to do that to your computer. You want to get your computer today, which doesn't understand empathy. It can talk about it, but it doesn't really understand it. How would you do it? It's simple. You would simply get that computer to experience things. To experience good things and bad things as different creatures. It has to suffer as different creatures because it wouldn't understand, just like Damien didn't understand the suffering of other creatures, but understood my suffering because I'm a human. And because it said it in the book. But you can't find empathy in a book. That's intellectual we're talking about there, intellect. And intellect has nothing to do with feelings of empathy. The ability to be able to feel what another creature, whether it be a human or any other creature, to feel how it suffers in your... and to try and reach out and help that creature any way you can. You know, we often think about men being able to not feel empathy, men who can be callous, but women can do it as well. I was watching one thing on YouTube just the other day, and a woman hit this dog, breaking the spine of the dog, and she didn't stop the car. She carried on driving. And someone else came along and took the dog to the hospital, and now the dog has a frame to hold the back half up, so the dog can walk and enjoy life. But can you understand the evilness of what's going on, and how people are like that Muslim fellow, the one that I like so much, how he drew me in to his video, and how he manipulated me at the beginning. But luckily I'm one of those people who questions everything, and that's why I saw that it was a lie what he was telling those girls.